What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey. And today we're going to talk about this NBA playoff round two, game three matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, so this game will be played at 8:30 p.m. East Coast time. The line did open up over under 212.5. Cleveland plus 7.5. The line has since moved to over under 211.5, and Cleveland plus 8.5. All right, so let's get into this matchup real quick and let's talk about what's been going on in this series in between these two teams. So the Celtics will be hoping to bounce back in this one after surrendering the home court advantage with a 118-94 drubbing, all right, from the Cavs in game two on Thursday night. All right, whereas the Cleveland Cavs, they must have been there's no way that this team was low on confidence after that series opener in game one, the way they came out in game two, man. All right, game two, they came out like a team on fire, ready for vengeance. And let's just break down the differences between game one going into game two and going into this game three game. Now, game one, Cleveland Cavaliers got their behind kicked 120-95. In the first quarter, it was Boston scoring 40, and Cleveland came out with 34 points. In the second quarter, neither team could score. Okay, Boston put up 19, and Cleveland only put up 15. Then, third quarter, both teams on fire again. Cleveland scored 28, Boston scored 33. But then in that fourth quarter, Cleveland kind of laid down. So as you see, it's like an ebb and flow of how they're actually performing quarter by quarter in that game one for both teams. Even though Cleveland did play poorly in the fourth quarter, heck, Boston they had 28 points in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So you really, when somebody puts up 28 points on you in the fourth quarter to your 18, it hurts. It really hurts, guys. Yeah, it's hard to come back from that. And Boston, like I said, they won every quarter. There's not one point in the game when Boston was really down in that game, guys. All right, now how did that happen? It happened because Cleveland shot 41.1% from the field, whereas Boston shot 48.9%. Cleveland also only shot 26.2% from three. How often is that going to happen? All right, but Boston, they shot 39.1, which is a trend that you should start paying attention to about what's been going on with Boston, and they firing up all these threes from nowhere for no reason. They come down the court, just shoot three, all right, when they really need to just go to the cup. All right, now, in that game, Boston lost the turnovers. I mean, they had 9 turnovers to Cleveland's only 5 turnovers, yet Cleveland still lost that game. And they lost that game because of how they shot from three. Like I said, 26.2% from three is what Cleveland shot. Now, they also did get out-rebounded. Boston had 55 rebounds to Cleveland's 38 rebounds in that game. And that's something that definitely shouldn't happen, guys. Donovan came out and did what he's going to do. He gave you 33, all right? But, you know, as you can see, in this series and in the playoffs, that's what Donovan does, all right? Spider gets out there and he puts up numbers. That's just how he performs in the playoffs. Whether you go back to now or talk about when he was in Utah, whatever, man. So for people to keep disrespecting that man and saying he ain't going to come out and play hard, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Not what I saw how he was in Utah. Not what I'm seeing how he's playing right now. Not what I saw in this last series against Orlando. It's just not what you see from Donovan Mitchell. It's not in his DNA to give you anything. You got to take it from him. Okay, and game two showed you that, because in game two, Cleveland came out 118-94, drubbing in Boston. Ain't nobody expect that, because Boston ain't lost but maybe 9 games on the year at home, 10 games if you include the playoffs, I think, something like that. Okay, now, here's how that went, though, because Cleveland came out on fire in the first quarter, scored 30 points, only gave up 24 to Boston. Then it hit inverse. Okay, and Boston scored 30, and Cleveland went 24. You see what I'm talking about the ebbs and flows. But then this is where Cleveland kind of took advantage and kind of, showed its true colors about who's really here to fight and who's not really here to fight. Because in the third quarter, Cleveland came out and put up 36 points in the Boston Garden, man, and only let Boston score 24. And then in the fourth quarter, man, Boston just laid down. They only scored 16 points. Okay, and Cleveland came out and scored 28 points, man. That's a complete laydown. Now, how did this happen? First and foremost, Cleveland shot 54.7% from the field. How often is that going to happen? Okay, highly possible if they shoot the right way, but let's keep going. Okay, so Boston shot 41.3% from the field, which is good, about average, right around where they can be at in a playoff environment. All right, and then, but the thing is, Cleveland shot 46.4% from three. That's almost 50% from three, whereas Boston shot 22.9% from three. How often is that going to happen, guys? That's not something you ain't going to see all the time. Now, then the turnover battle, Cleveland lost the turnover battle and still won the game. They turned the ball over 12 times, okay? Boston turned the ball over 7 times, but Cleveland did win the rebound battle, and that's where it all comes down to, is the actual battle on the rebounds and battle on the board. Cleveland has to dominate the boards in order to win this. They have to dominate the boards. They have to play perimeter defense and hold back that three. Okay, they have to close out. They have to get in the face of these shooters. All right, because the only way that they're gonna be in this is if they do those specific things. Okay, and on the season, Cleveland's had a pretty good defense, man. That you can kind of expect to do certain things. All right, so at the end of the day, Cleveland has wrestled the home court advantage away from this top-seeded Celtics team. Next task is not giving it right back, guys. All right, now, Donovan Mitchell said it's always good to get a win on the road, but at the end of the day, it's one game. All right, so it was good to get the win. Well, we did a lot of really positive things, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You got to go take care of home court. It's nice to get this win, but at the end of the day, we got one day to prepare and get ready to protect our home court. Now, Boston's really got to look to bounce back after trailing by as many as 29 points in the second half of Game 2, and after being tied up at halftime. Like, that was it was definitely stunning. Okay. Jason Tatum said, just got to get ready for Saturday. All right. Nobody was in there defeated. Deflated. I mean, you never want to lose, especially in the playoffs. There's a lot of things we can learn from that, and we can get. The world thinks we're never supposed to lose. We're supposed to win every game by 25, and it's just not going to be like that all the time. Now, do I agree with Jason Tatum on that? Yeah, I agree that every game ain't going to be like that. But at the end of the day, you can't come out there and play like y'all been playing, man. Especially you. I understand you scored the 29 points in the game, this and that, and the third, but you got to be a dog and a leader out there. You can't have your counterparts not showing up and you not leading. You scored the quietest 25 points I've seen ever. Okay, I don't know how you got the 25 points because it was quiet. Like the way that the momentum shifted in that second half, and you just gave up the home court like that, man, and tooted and booted. Come on now, guys. Come on now. Like I said, I got some mercy for a player when he is not of the caliber of Jason Tatum. But you, Jason Tatum, you got a way better team than they got right now. I don't care what you tell me, all right? And there's no way that this should have ever occurred like that. You can't let one man lead a team to beat you like that, even if they got trees all over the place, which they do. All right, I give Cleveland that. Cleveland got trees all over the place. All right, so when you talk about these two teams in the injury report, of course we know Porzingis is still out. Dean Wade is questionable, hampered with right knee sprain. It's unclear if he'll be active for Game 3 in this Eastern Conference game. And Jared Allen, he's still questionable, sidelined with the rib contusion, and it's undetermined if he will suit up in Game 3. All right, now the next thing that we do need to talk about, guys, when we're talking about these two teams, we got to see how they've been playing head-to-head. And head-to-head, the last 10 times they match up, now it's 5-5 even. It's 6-4 Cleveland to the 6-4 against the spread, and it's 6 to the over and 4 to the under in the last 10 times they played. As far as this season's concerned, they have only met each other 5 times this season, okay? And then the 5 times this season that they played each other, Boston's got them 3-2, okay? And when you look against the spread so far this season, Cleveland got Boston 3-2, all right? And when you look at the over-unders for this season, just for this season, it's 3 to the under and 2 to the over, all right? So when you're looking at how they've been playing this season, when they're matching up with each other against the spread, it leans Cleveland, as well as it leans Cleveland just in the last 10. It also leans to the under when you talk about these two teams when they match up so far this season. Now, Boston is coming in this, as a more over team right now. Okay, they've had they were 6-4 to the over in their last 10. But Cleveland's been playing even kill ball, and that has a lot to do with the fact they played the Orlando Magic. Cleveland also hadn't been covered in a lot of games, but that also had a lot to do with the fact that they were playing the Orlando Magic, one of the best ATS teams in the NBA. Okay, there's a reason that they were one of the best ATS teams in the NBA, despite the early exit from the playoffs, guys. All right, so when you trying to figure out what's going on in this game, which side you want to go with, who you want to rock with, man, you always got to take into consideration how they've been playing. Of course, Boston's 5-2 in the playoffs straight up, and Cleveland is 5-4. All right, as a home favorite, Cleveland this year is 26-10, as a home underdog, Cleveland is 3-5 straight up, and as an away favorite, okay, Boston's 28-12 straight up. Now, when you look against the spread as a home underdog, Cleveland's 4-4. As an away favorite, Boston's 20-17-3. Of course, in the playoffs, like I said, Boston's 5-2 against the spread, whereas Cleveland's coming in here 4-5 against the spreads. So tonight they do have opportunity to go ahead and tie that up, at least be 5-5 or 500 in the playoffs against the spread tonight. All right, now when you look over unders, as a home underdog, it's 4 over, 4 under, and then as a away favorite, it's 20-20, so 20 over, 20 under. But in the playoffs, it's been 3 to the over and 4 to the under for Boston, and for Cleveland, it's been 4 to the over and 5 to the under. All right, so looking at these two teams and how these two teams match up on the court, and understanding what they're doing in the last 3 games, Boston's averaging 110.7 points per game while giving up 99 points per game, and Cleveland's averaging 106.3 points per game while giving up 102.7 points per game. All right, in the last 3. So where do we sit at? What are we looking at? Well, you're talking about a Celtics team that have won each of their last 9 Saturday road games. The Cavs have lost each of their last 7 games as underdogs against Eastern Conference opponents following a win. All right, the Cavs have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 7 games as underdogs against Eastern Conference opponents following a win. And the Celtics have covered the spread in each of their last 6 road games against Central Division opponents following a loss. Now, when you're talking about Cleveland, you also still got to remember that the Cavs have won each of the last 8 Eastern Conference semifinal home games. The Celtics have lost 8 of their last 9 road games against the Cavs. Repeat that, guys. The Celtics have lost 8 of their last 9 road games against Cavaliers teams that held a winning record. All right, the Celtics have failed to cover the spread in 7 of their last 8 games against Central Division opponents that held a winning record, and the Cavs have covered the spread in each of their last 6 games against Atlantic Division opponents after winning as underdogs. So 7 of the Cavs' last 8 playoff games against Atlantic Division opponents have gone under the total points line, and each of the Celtics' last 4 playoff games have gone under the total points line. So what do I like here? I definitely rocking with the under. I like it at under 211.5, but I probably put a little juice on there just to keep it fair and square. Make sure that rock through. I could see taking. Not gonna lie, even though they're giving up 8.5, I could see taking that 8.5. Now, if it was less, if it was like 7 or 6 points, I could see the Celtics doing what they need to do. But at that 8.5, 9, 10 point range, that's just a lot. Okay, if you can find a boost, definitely go money line on this one. All right, but those are my leans. Also, kind of, also do kind of like, yeah, I like the under, guys. I like under. I'm not sure Celtics will be able to put up enough points. You might be able to get under team total. Go live game bet. Look at what you need to look at, guys. I do like the Celtics first half, though. I think they're going to come out and try to fight on the first half. You can get that number pretty low. But at the end of the game, yeah, I trust Donovan Mitchell to try to do something. All right, to make this a competitive game. I don't think he's going to get like gutted in his first game, unless now the caveat to this is Jarrett Allen playing and the other player. What's his name? Let's look. Dean Wade. Okay, Dean Wade's been out forever. All right, so if Dean Wade plays and Jarrett Allen comes back, then it could be a problem for Cleveland. Okay, because it's going to throw off the rhythm and it's going to throw off the rhyme of what they've actually been executing positively in the last game and the minutes. You know what I mean? Like, people get comfortable playing with certain people, this and that, and the third. You kind of throw rhythm off when you ain't been out there in some time. And so Jarrett Allen, I could anticipate if Jarrett Allen does come out and start tonight, okay, then there could be some issues, and that's why I like Boston in that first half. Okay, because if he's playing, then it's going to be, the rhythm's going to be off a little bit. They might get it corrected by the end of the game. Highly possible. But that's what I like. That's where I'm sitting at, man. I hope this information helps y'all. Have a blessed day. Stay safe, man. And I'm going to see you at the window. Peace.